Ladies and gentlemen, good morning and welcome to Gachis Kaman TV, the tallest man in Black Africa. The government is in cash crisis. The economy is on the brink of collapse. Civil servants have not been paid, and there is delay in paying civil servants. Money to the county government has not been remitted. No meaningful development is taking place in our great republic. At the same time, the government is very keen on employing the 50 chief administrative secretary. Despite the court order, the government is determined to move on. In this video, I want us to look at the reason why the government is in cash crisis. I want us to look at the situation in the country because the situation is not good at all. And if you look at the first reason, which I believe is the Hustlers Fund, the Hustlers Fund is also on the brink of collapse. Nobody is talking about it. And what we have is that mahasla walichukua hela, walichukua mikopo na wamekataa kulipa maelfu kwa maelfu. I don't know whether in this video and you borrowed money and this was government money and many people have not paid. Majority of the people who have not paid are the hustlers, and the reason why they have not paid is because they don't have money to pay. They don't have. Tena walichukua mikopo, tuseme kwa mfano kuna wale ambao walichukua 3,000, wengine wakachukua 500 wakabugia mvinyo. Wengine wakaenda katika hoteli wakala kuku. Wengine wakala kama kuku kwa sababu walikula kidogo sana. This is a country whereby baadhi ya wananchi ambao ni wachache sana wanakula kuku na wengine wanakula kama kuku. Hiyo ndio tofauti yenyewe. Because what we have is that the hustlers is one of the government project that was not well thought. Kwa sababu ukiangalia utaona kwamba ndio watu walichukua pesa na serikali kwa sababu ilikuwa inatumia jambo hili just to fulfill a campaign pledge that was not adding up. A campaign pledge that was very unrealistic. What we have now is cash crisis. The government is in cash crisis. Again, when you look at the county government, the civil servants are complaining. Again, the governors who came, they came and they want to replace the civil servants who are actually permanently employed and pensionable. Lakini kwa sababu ya vile ambavyo siasa zinaendeshwa katika nchi hii, utapata ya kwamba wakati ambapo viongozi wa county wanaingia serikalini, wanakuja na wanataka kuajiri watu wao, wanakuja na wanataka kuhakikisha kwamba wale watu ambao walikuwa pale wamepigwa kalamu, na baada ya kupigwa kalamu kile ambacho kinatokea sasa, this crisis even in the county government, the doctors in many counties have not been paid and they want to go on strike. And if you watch very keenly from this week, you see a number of counties, you see many civil servants going on strike, and especially the doctors. Reason? They have not been paid. Reason for not being paid? The government has not remitted the money for the county to the county government, and none other than the chair of Council of Governors, Anne Mobi Waiguru, the Kenyaga governor, who puts it very clearly that they are suffering. They are on the verge of collapse. Again, the reason why we have cash crisis in this country is because when William Samoei Ruto took over, he started by creating illegal offices like that of Prime Cabinet Secretary. Surely, what is... and you see, our parliaments are there. Parliament, which is supposed to provide oversight function, just watched. Because for them, it's just loyalty. They did not even point to the figure. And you see, they went ahead and vetted Mudavadi. simply because they want to please the executive. But instead of calling the government bluff, instead of telling the president, here you're wrong, this one, like the way they did when they refused to vet the CAS, the chief administrative secretaries, because they realize that they are failing the people. So our parliament failed us. Our parliament refused to tell the president the truth, because such offices are going to take a lot of money. And you see, the government has gone ahead and even allocated offices to the wife of the prime cabinet secretary, the wife of the first, or the wife of the president, the first lady, the wife of Gachagua. All these are taking people's money. All these are taking taxpayers' money. And then why should we ask why there's a crisis, a cash crisis in this country, when we have a government that is very extravagant, a government that is spending millions and millions of money in legal offices? Kwa kile ambacho tunafaa kujiuliza, pesa hizi, kwa sababu tunaona ofisi zingine zikiudwa, hafai kuwa pale. Why then are we going to complain when there is a cash crisis? The other reason why there is cash crisis is because of corruption. This government has not been talking about corruption. This government, you see, unlike Kibaki government, like Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, who was actually trying to fight corruption, and you see, he said that the government was losing 2 billion shilling every day because of corruption. What about now? I expect, and I strongly believe that the government is spending more than 5 billion in terms of corruption. Kwamba ule ufisadi uko katika nchi hii haujawahi kuonekana katika nchi nyingine. Go to any hospital, go to any public hospital, for you to be treated, lazima ujaribu kumpa kitu kidogo afisa wa serikali. Go to independent institutions, the same case. Go to the courts, this is justice for sale. Anywhere you go, it is corruption, corruption and corruption. Even when we have vacancies, wakati ambapo tunaona watu wakiajiriwa, kile ambacho kinatumika ni ufisadi wa hali ya juu sana. And you see, what is happening is that for this government to survive, it needs to create a conducive environment for business. But the government has not created a conducive environment for business. And when you look at the situation, for instance, when you look at the country's stability, politically, we look like we are not stable. And this one is affecting the businesses. And you know, wakati wote ambapo kunatokea hata maandamano, wakati ambapo yanatokea, ukweli usemo ni kwamba biashara haziendi vizuri. Wakati wote ambapo nchi ambapo inaanza kuvutana, kwa sababu huu mvutano ambao upo kati ya Azimio na Kenya Kwanza, the one that is about servers, the one that is about IBC, the one that is about the high cost of living, it is affecting the businesses. The cash that is actually supposed to be liquid, the money that should be circulating, it is not there, because watu hawafanyi biashara kama vile ambavyo wanafaa kuwa wakifanya. Kisa na maana ni kwa sababu ya migogoro ya kisiasa. The other reason why we are in a cash crisis is because we spent a lot of money buying politicians. When Kenya Kwanza took over, the first business was to buy members of parliament. Indeed, a whole party, we saw the elected leaders crossing over to the government side. And we also saw what happened to ODM wakati watu kama Jalango ambapo walikuwa wakijiunga na upande wa Kenya Kwanza. This is wrong in my view, because if we are spending money to buy politicians, then we are not doing the right thing. Then we are headed in the wrong direction. Then we are killing democracy. Kwa kule kutumia pesa nyingi kujaribu kununua what I call loyalty on sale. Kile ambacho tunaweza kusema ni kwamba si jambo ambalo linaweza kukuza demokrasia, si jambo ambalo linaweza kukuza uchumi. And you see now, this is like embezzling the money. Embezzlement, a situation whereby money is not used for the purpose it is supposed to be used. Again, when you look at this government, you realize we don't have any meaningful development that is taking place. No major road projects, no major road infrastructure projects that are taking place. And that is why we have a cash crisis. Kwa sababu money flow, cash flow is not there. Na kile ambacho tunaweza tukasema, the money is in the heart of the nobles. We call them the nobles. Because when you look at the proletariat who are just poor, and theirs is just to provide labor to the noble class, to the proletariat class. No, the proletariat class is providing money to the nobles. The nobles led by the president himself. Gachagua is also a noble, and many others. And again, when you look at even this cabinet itself, which is actually a kind of upper class cabinet, utaona kwamba bila shaka ni watu ambao watakuwa wakitumia pesa nyingi sana. Again, there's so many unnecessary tours by the executive, by parliament, by the judiciary, because all the time you find these people on meetings, per diems, nini, out of pocket, money for transport. Pesa zinatumika sana katika safari ambazo hazifai kuwa zinatumika. When William Samoei Ruto took over, kile ambacho alisema kwanza ni kwamba he wanted to save Kenya shilling 3 billion. 3 billion, imagine, within the financial year. But is it no? This is really no 300 billion. Yes, he wanted to save, I think, 300 billion. I think I'm right. And kile ambacho tunaona, and the question that we should ask ourselves, did he manage to save 300 billion? Because if you ask me, the expenditure is on a higher scale, and this is because of the way the executive and the government officers vile ambavyo wanatumia pesa zao katika mikutano ambayo haifai, siasa ambazo hazifai. And now, for instance, when you look at the prayer meetings that are held every Sunday, how much money is spent on this? How much? And then we talk about cash crisis. Then when you ask about the common mwananchi, utaona kwamba hata the hustlers are no longer smiling. And I'm going to give a video very soon about why the hustlers are not smiling, why they are not even excited by the government any longer. Kwa sababu kile ambacho tunaona ni kila mmoja wetu akilalamika. Again, when you look at the government, you notice that what we have is a government that is led by leaders who are not very much experienced. When you look at William Samoei Ruto's cabinet, when you look at the treasury, you realize that there's not much that is taking place. And I don't know whether you have realized that Kenyan shilling is among the worst performing currency in Africa. Indeed, inflation is very high in Kenya compared to other countries. Na kile ambacho tunaona ni kwamba the government side has been trying to justify this situation, which is wrong in my view, kwa sababu vile ambavyo wanatuambia sivyo ilivyo, si kweli. Wanatuambia that this is what is happening in all countries. It is not the case. Ukweli usemo ni kwamba nchi hii iko katika jiapada. Nchi hii iko katika sehemu baya sana. We are in a very bad situation, very precarious situation. And what we need is political stability. So if William Samoei Ruto does not fix the politics of this country, if he does not agree with Azimio, I'm telling you, this country will collapse. We will collapse. That is a fact. Kwa sababu, for how long can we continue without paying civil servants? Because you see, this means that hospitali hakutakuwa na mambo ambayo yatakuwa yakiendelea pale. Na sio kwamba nchi haiwezi kukuwa na pesa. Nchi kile ambacho ipo ni kwamba ilijipata katika mikononi ambayo haikuwa tayari. Because you have seen the officers in government, kile ambacho wanafanya ni siasa baada ya siasa. Sijui pale ulipo unaonaje, lakini kutokana na pale mimi nipo, naona uchumi umezorota. Naona we are losing this nation. This is Gachis Kamani, the tallest man in Black Africa. Kindly like this video and subscribe if you have not, and have a great day. Bye-bye.